Hi, George here, and today I'll be showing you how to place text onto a page. And there are a couple different ways of doing that, but it's fairly straightforward and easy. We'll put our text right down in here. We'll start off with a headline, so basic headline text. Sometimes it's called display text. Over here, grab the type tool. I have my color set at black down below here. This is going to be a fairly large type size 72 point. Then just click in here, and that gives you a text insertion line. Now, if you're in a later version of Photoshop Elements, it will give you some text pre-filled. You can just change that. I'll hit the delete key. Earlier versions, you'll just get that insertion point right here. Let's just put in some text. I'll type in Alice, in, and an enter key, Wonderland. Now it's going off the page, as you can see. So I can pull that in and fit that in better. Let's now adjust this a bit so it fits better. Double click to select this. And let's change our size down below here. Let's come down to 60 point. That fits better. Let's put this on 3 lines. Double click again. It brings us back our type tool. Let's select this and then set this at center justified and pull that in. There we go, looking better. There's a lot of space between these. I can bring that down a little bit. Double click again. And that's where it says leading. I'll go to 30 and then we can try 36. So you can come in here and get a specific point size if you want, or where it says leading, go over this, click, and then drag that, and you can get a visual positioning. There we go. Alice in Wonderland. Now the Wonderland is still too large. Let's double click on that. I'll just select that one line. Do the same trick over here where it says size. This is our type size. Just hold the cursor over size, click and drag, and you can then adjust that any size you want. There we go. Let's bring the in down. Double click and then select this. Try 30 point on that. Looks good. And it'll bring Alice larger. Alice 72 point. Let's adjust our leading between Alice and in, so you can adjust leading for individual lines. Just select both lines and you can adjust that space in between. That's looking a lot better. There we go. Okay, so that's display text. Of course, you can do things like come in here and change the alignment. We've seen that already. You can do fake bold or fake italic. Later versions of Photoshop Elements have a tracking adjustment. This is the space between the letters. So you can bring them closer or further apart. That's looking pretty good. Let's come in here and put a block of text right down through here. Now for this, since I already have a text block here, what I like doing is coming in and putting in a new blank layer above that, and then back to my type tool. This just makes sure that I won't accidentally reselect this type. Click and drag, and you can come in here and actually place a block of text like that. Now it comes in again, pre-filled with some text. You can leave that if you want to while you adjust your size. Let's bring this down to 12 point. Let's set the leading to auto, and we'll left justify that. Let's now change this text. I have some text from Alice in Wonderland. I'll bring that up. And it's right here. Let's just select all of this, right click and copy, get that out of the way. I'll select this, right click and paste, and it brings that text right onto the page just like that. Now, one problem when you bring text in from Windows Notepad, it has hard returns on end of lines in Notepad. For instance, weather should be right after no. So I'm going to click into here, put my insertion point right in front of weather and backspace and then a space. That makes that fit better. Let's do the same thing here. Put my cursor right here, backspace and a space. There we go. That fixed that hard return. Back out here with the scroll wheel. If you don't have scrolling on your mouse, very useful trick. Go up here to edit, come down to preferences and general. And it's that checkbox right here, zoom with scroll wheel. I always like using that. That way I can just scroll in and out. There we are. Now there are 2 ways to change the size of your box. And it's very important to know the difference on this. Right now I'm on the move tool. You can tell by the look of that tool here. If I come here and grab the side and I pull this in, notice I can squeeze in the lettering or squeeze it out. Or if I come in here, triple click, select this, I now have the text tool. You can see it right here. Now when I come over and grab that side handle, I pull this in, now the text realigns to fit that box. So 2 different ways to change the size of your box. We also can easily colorize our text. Let's just go back over here to the layer that has the title. Click on your layer and you'll see that bounding box. Double click to select that. Let's come down here and change our color. I'll just choose this kind of a purplish color in here. That's actually a CMYK blue, but it's kind of purplish. Triple click again. Let's go to a magenta. I think that's better. You know all of your standard layer tricks on this if you want to. Go up to layer, come down to layer style, style settings. I can put a drop shadow on there or put a glow around that. Hard to see a glow against a white background. We can put a bevel on this. Again, hard to see because the typeface is so slim. We can also add a stroke around this if you want to. There's the stroke. You can see that pretty easily in there. So all those standard layer styles are available to us. You can get real fancy if you want to. Let's just double click on this, reselect this, come down here to our tool options, and right here it says anti-aliasing. Right below that, you'll see a T with kind of a curved arrow underneath of that. Click on that. And that brings up the warp text dialog box. Just choose a shape. Here's arc. You can actually arc that text. You can come in here and change the bend on that if you want to. You can also distort this one way or the other. Here's a left distortion. Here's a vertical distortion. Lots of options in here. There's arch. Here's a shell lower. Here's a flag effect. Here's an inflation. So lots and lots of different options. Let's bring that down just a bit like that. Choose OK. And there's some nice warped text. So as you can see, very easy to place text onto your box. You have those two styles. You have the display text or title text, and you have a text box to drop your text into. If you want to get fancy on this, you can add coloration over here onto the image layer. Let's come down to the background, make a new layer above that. Let's go over here and I'll find a nice light blue right there. Choose OK. Grab the paintbrush, and I'm just going to paint right on top of where her dress is. So I'll just come in here and just carefully hand paint this. I'm not really being super careful about that, just covering it over. And then we can use the different blend modes to blend this in different ways. And the mode that you choose will depend upon what you want to do with this, what the look is. I have one that I tend to like for this kind of a drawing. I'll show you that in just a second. Let's just finish coloring over her dress in here. And let's get the back part of the dress, which is right down through here. And of course, the sleeve right up in here. There we go. So if you choose the blend modes, we have all these different blend modes. Here's a darken blend mode. If I was real careful with my lines on this, I could have used this and made just a nice filled in look with the coloration and black lines on top. You can do that by coming in here with the eraser tool. Let's change this to a nice hard edge. There we go. And I can carefully erase back in right against that edge, or use my selection tools to come in, do a real nice clean selection that way. So that gives you a filled in quality, which works out well. Or we have other options. If I click on this, use the scroll wheel, I can scroll down through all of my different options. Color burn, it's kind of fun. Lighten comes in and actually lightens the black colors up. It's a different look. Color dodge, again, kind of a different look in here. What I happen to like on this is this overlay. It gives you the black coloration, and the black is then outlined with that light blue. I think that looks really nice. So I'll go ahead and I'll keep that one. Let's do one more of these. I'll make a new layer in here. Let's change our color here to kind of a gold color, and we'll do her hair. And go to the paintbrush. There we go. And then just paint right on top of the hair. Same exact trick, same idea. And just work around and get all the different bits of hair. I'll just carefully go right around the edge of the face in there. There we go. Don't want to get the face messed up. And then fill that in. And we'll use that same overlay option. And there we go. So you can come in and colorize if you want to, and Control-0 to fit on screen. So pretty easy, as you can see, to put in text. We did just a little bit of stuff here. If you want to find out a lot more about what you can do with Photoshop Elements, I have a complete video training course for this, and I'll put a link for that at the top of the description. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. I'm doing new videos all the time, and I'll see you next time.